I'm Eitan Berger. Welcome to Simcha, a celebration of life. The South African Jewish Museum is currently hosting the second in a series of exhibitions entitled Who Am I?, where South African artists explore their heritage and identity. Artist Cathy Abrahams, in her most recent exhibition entitled Undying Entanglement, illustrates her multi-layered approach, showing us 3 generations exploring love, life, and religion as interwoven themes.
The collapse of illusion is my underlying focus for this exhibition. And I've used the idea of home or house and the institutions of marriage and religion as symbols, or as the structure that I've looking at that idea from. An illusion in terms of time, in terms of life and death and perception. This piece, because so many people we've lost, there's so many people who've gone and died, but they're not gone. And this was my mother's dressing table, so and she loved dancing and music, and so I've always wanted to do something with it, and I wanted to make it out of glass or this and that, and eventually it's as it is.
It has to be.
It's just like this, and then I wanted to put this feeling of joy and light and dancing that's endless, and it rotates, and it's in a loop, and it's like a moment that no matter what happens or what breaks or what's lost, that's also still there. And then I've put it in the circle, the 18-meter circle, and 18 is a number that means life. When I was witnessing our childhood home being demolished, watching it from a distance, when I would be from a distance and filming and watching, I was totally struck by how present memories and moments and experiences that I'd had in the house 40 years ago felt that they were happening in that moment. Time collapsed when you sit still, and even though the thing is gone, the psychic space of it exists. It's not gone. And then maybe nothing is gone. And also noticing that there's beauty in destruction and in the things that are unwanted or discarded, and the other side of a coin, the other way of looking at something. I also believe that this is the place where art and science meet, in that idea, being it around observation and interest in looking at something without attachment to an outcome or having to be a particular way, or trying to force something to be a particular way. This is a year's worth of the baking paper that we use underneath the challah, the bread that we make every Friday at home. I would each week notice as well that even though we do using the same recipe, the same process, it's baked in the oven for the same amount of time, it's the same oven. Each time they look completely different, and it's never the same. A lot of the work that I've done here, it's very layered, and a lot of things are hidden, because I believe that things like words or objects or things carry energy, and you don't necessarily have to know everything. The unknown has an existence, has a presence in our life. So we don't have to know everything and see everything and understand everything for it to exist. And a lot of what I'm looking at is the idea of the presence in absence. So, and an absence in presence, the flip side of that as well. So your life couldn't have only amounted to the stuff and to money. So there must be more to it. So I'm looking at all that, what else there is, what is left behind when you're gone, and what is the mark you make and the imprint that the ripple effect has of the actions and the marks you make in the world. So that's also why I became interested in using text and letters and changing their arrangement and finding other words within words that we normally live by or understand or think we understand, in order to search for new meaning and unlock the meaning that's inside the text And I've also used in my limited understanding of the numbers and the meaning of the numbers and the symbol of the numbers. I've used the numbers that have resonated for me in terms of this particular story. Like each film that I've done is 6 minutes, 13 seconds in reference to the 613 commandments. And I've used wherever I can, and I always do, to build the structure around the things that I believe in, or that have given me faith. Living one's whole life and noticing the details, linking dots, connecting past with present and future, connecting science with art and religion and spirit and belief and faith, and the daily struggle of driving from A to B, or cooking, or living, or being a parent, or dying, the process of dying, the process of birth. It's all of life. And I think that what helps me is to bear witness to life. And I feel very grateful that I am able to do that through art. That I can use, so life is my material.
In the Torah, or Bible's account of creation, the word blessing is mentioned 3 times. The first time is when God created man, the second time regarding Shabbat, and the third time when God created fish. Therefore, the tradition has come about for us, man, to eat fish on Shabbat, and thereby attain the triple blessing. Today, resident chef Saranne Chait shares with us her traditionally delicious recipe for Gefilte fish, but with a twist.
Hello once again and welcome to my kitchen. The most famous and most representative of Jewish dishes and a historic first course of the Sabbath and the holiday meal is the Gefilte fish. Traditionally, the Gefilte fish balls are rolled together with similar ingredients that we're going to use today. Today, however, we're going to take a simple route, use the traditional ingredients that we use in those balls, and make a Gefilte fish loaf. For the loaf, we'll be needing a kilo of minced fish, and to that minced fish, we're going to add grated carrots. So what we're going to do is to coarsely chop the carrots into our food processor. That type of fineness is exactly what we want to add to our already chopped fish. Now to that, we're going to add a grated or chopped onion. Just cut coarse wedges into your bowl of your machine. And we'll give it a few pulses. Now what I'm going to add to this is some chopped parsley. It's absolutely not essential. I love the taste of parsley. I love the way it adds to the color of the dish. So I'm going to add some chopped parsley to my Gefilte fish loaf. And that's fine enough. All that's left to do now is to add the remaining ingredients. There is 2 tablespoons of matzah meal, some sugar, some salt, and 1 egg. And we've got water that we add as well. Now we'll mix this all up so that everything is well blended before we put it into our oiled loaf tin. Now that all of our ingredients are mixed and the correct consistency has been gathered, we're going to take 2 loaf tins. I'm going to drop a bit of oil in each one. And run it around the sides of the tin. We're going to take the fish mixture, put it into our pans, and we're going to bake these loaves at 180 degrees for plus minus 30 minutes. Yes, the little loaf is ready now. We'll take it out. Leave the bigger one in for a little bit longer. So all one has to really do then is to loosen the edges, bearing in mind that 9 times out of 10, although you can eat the gefilte fish loaf warm, 9 times out of 10 you are going to eat it cold. There we have our gefilte fish loaves, a wonderful, as you've just seen, alternative to the gefilte fish balls, which we can eat as a starter or just as fabulous as a main course with a salad, together with some horseradish or mayonnaise. Enjoy it, and I'll see you next time.
Unfortunately, that's all we have time for this week's episode of Simcha. If you've missed any previous episodes, please log on to www.spiritsister.co.za to catch up. From myself, Eitan Berger, and the whole team here at Simcha, thank you so much for joining us. Have a great Sunday and enjoy your week.